Welcome back to America Right Now. I'm Tom Basili. Well, folks, it finally happened. Didn't think it would happen, really didn't want it to happen. But this week, I had what they called a milestone birthday. You know, my father never made it out of his 40s. Perhaps I never thought I would either. Perhaps that's why I've always been in such a hurry about everything. Perhaps that's a source of my motivation. But I learned early on that life is short, and it can change very quickly. I've learned a lot more along the way, much of it the hard way, but like Billy Joel once wrote, your mistakes are the only thing that you can truly call your own, and I've made many of them. When I learned that patience is a virtue and complacency is toxic, I've come to know that fear and anxiety are as deadly to the soul as cancer can be to the body. I've learned that so much of the joy in life are in our relationships. Real connection, though, is about showing up. It's about being present. It's about being there more than just through a text message and social media. It's about being there at life's lowest moments, not just when times are good. I've learned that friends are the family who choose you, and they are one of the greatest blessings in life. They require hard work and dedication to maintain. I've learned that when you have a chance to reaffirm a friendship or help bring people together again, don't wait until it's too late. Here's another one. Love people for who they are. No one is going to change you. And sometimes just because somebody doesn't quite measure up to your expectations doesn't mean they don't care about you very much. And it's okay to be a guy and hug. It's important. I've learned that money can't buy class, and your social status doesn't mean a darn thing when it comes to what's really important in life. I've learned that there's a difference between information and knowledge. Talk and action, information and talk, are cheap and flimsy. I've learned that just enough is never enough to be successful in anything. I've learned that listening is often more important than speaking, and those who talk a lot often say very little. And anyone worth disagreeing with will be willing to honestly debate you. Many people I know in politics, sadly, they talk a lot. They want to be important, not necessarily do anything to really help people. Many of them I have found are members of the Green Party. They go where the money is. I've learned those who truly lead serve, and those who are worth the mantle of leadership should exhibit both compassion and humility. Here's another one. Allow yourself to be bothered by evil and injustice and motivated by truth to help people live better lives. Evil only triumphs when good people lack the courage to counter it. I've learned to learn from everyone I can learn from. The day that you stop learning and doing new things is the day you truly stop living. I've learned that we reap what we sow, and that goes for people as well as nations. Here's another one. Surround yourself with the beauty of creation. Embrace nature and marvel at the work of mankind. Stop to appreciate a view or the details of a painting or a sculpture. Laugh every day. And by the way, if you have somebody in your life who makes you laugh, do everything you can to hold on to them. Details are important. Now, you don't have to constantly sweat the small stuff to know that it is often the little things in life that mean so much to those around us. I've learned that everything is born out of the great magisterium of God, even those who hurt you and appall you. And when there is hurt, not to ask why, but to ask, what am I being taught? I've learned that we often carry so much with us from the past. We must be willing to put the past behind us, taking the positive and the happy memories and relieving ourselves of the regret and the guilt and the sadness that can sap the soul for a lifetime. Live like a golden retriever, folks. Shed a lot. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. If you want to make him happy, serve others. And while you're at it, hopefully get married, stay faithful, and have children who are raised to believe that they are servants of him and his creation. I've come to understand that being a parent is the single hardest but the most rewarding and most impactful thing I will likely ever do. I've learned that putting money and possessions ahead of making an impact creates a prison of envy, and putting career ahead of God, family, and relationships can lead to spiritual emptiness. Life is about balance and keeping proper perspective. It's about focusing not only on success, but on significance. I've learned that this nation is truly the last best hope of Earth, and if patriots don't protect our fragile freedom, communism will usher in an age of darkness for the human race. I have come to fully appreciate, however difficult it can be, to surrender to this simple fact that all of us have just one boss, and it's not the CEO of your company, and it is not your spouse, and it's not some guy with a title or power or money. Regardless of your situation, if you get up in the morning and you do your best to live a life that God would be happy with, that God would recognize as advancing His truth, that recognizes this life as a prelude to some level of existence that is an incomprehensible gift from the Almighty, you're doing just fine. I'm sure there's more, but I'm out of time. A half century, how much longer? Who knows? The challenge of existence is to be impactful in the present. And when it comes to the future, have the grace to say, "Thy will be done."